Welcome to Our Family Cooks. My name is Allison, and today we are going to be making 3 super quick, super easy appetizers for your next Super Bowl party or just whatever party you're going to. I'm going to take another bite because it's so good. I'm going to be using a crock pot tonight. Y'all should make these and try them. They're so good. Our first recipe is buffalo chicken dip. Let's get started. First, we're going to start with our shredded chicken. You can use canned chicken, rotisserie chicken. You can buy chicken breast and shred it yourself. But yeah, this is about 2 cups. Next, we have shredded cheddar cheese. I always like to buy the block cheese and then shred it myself because when you buy it in the store pre-shredded, it does have anti-caking agent on it, so it doesn't all stick together. And that can sometimes make it not melt as good when you put it in a dish, a soup, a dip, whatever. And we have, of course, buffalo sauce. So I'm using a 1/2 cup of buffalo sauce and then a 1/4 cup of Frank's Red Hot Original Sauce. Mainly because we didn't have enough buffalo sauce. And you know, that's how life is. So you just gotta improvise. Next we have ranch, the good old ranch. Who doesn't love ranch, especially if you live in the Midwest? So we've got 1 cup of this. Then 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. And I have had this sitting out on the counter for the last probably hour just so it gets to room temp and it's nice and softened already so it melts easier and mixes together easier. Last but certainly not least, we are going to be adding Meat Church's Holy Voodoo seasoning in. It's a sweet heat, so it has a couple different sugars, jalapenos, and paprika in it. And we are going to be making this in the crock pot tonight, so it'll be super easy. You can make it at home and then take it with you to your party. Let's get it all added to the crock pot. We will start with our chicken. Just pour all of that in there. And if you want more chicken, you can have 2.5 cups. And then we are gonna go on to our buffalo sauce. So pour that in the crock pot as well. This is like one of the easiest things. I love working with crock pots because you can just throw it all in there and then it cooks itself. So 1 cup of ranch. Put that in the crock pot, and using these spatulas is so nice because it just gets everything out, or more than, you know, if you didn't have a spatula and you just were trying to pour it out. And we're gonna go on to cream cheese. So I need to get these opened. It doesn't have to be Philadelphia brand of cream cheese. You can use whatever local generic brand you have, but I know they have like low fat cream cheese. Go for the full fat, just get the thing. It's the Super Bowl or it's a party, whatever you're making it for, you need the good stuff. All right, so we have 8 ounces here. And then the next one. And one nice thing about these cream cheese is if you're making a different recipe where you don't need the full 8 ounces, it does have the 1 ounce hash marks on it. So you can see like how much you're getting. And also if you let these set at room temperature, they kind of come out of the package a little easier. So they just flop on in there. And then we have about 2 cups of shredded cheese here, 1.5 to 2 cups. I'm just gonna put around 1/2 cup and I'm just eyeballing it. I think this is about 1/2 cup. Looks like a cup, maybe a little bit more. And then once this really mixes together and sits for probably like 30 minutes in the crock pot, then I'll add more cheese on top and we'll let it cook a little bit more. So just adding about 1/2 cup right now. And last, we are going to add our seasonings. I don't really measure a ton of seasoning. I just kind of sprinkle it in there, or I just take and dump it all, but I'm not gonna put all this in here. It's probably 2 teaspoons maybe. But you just kind of season and then come back later and taste and see how it's going. You can add more seasoning. I don't feel like you can really ever over season anything. So, all right, so we're just gonna mix this together. It is a little difficult to mix because of that cream cheese, but that's okay. We'll just kind of get it as incorporated as we can right now, and then we'll come back a little later once it gets heating up and starts to melt. We're gonna put it on high, and then we'll come back and check it every 10 minutes. So it's been 45 minutes. We've stirred twice through the cooking process, and now we're gonna check it out and give it a stir. Oh yeah, this smells amazing. It's perfectly melted. Oh, so good. So now we will add the rest of our shredded cheddar cheese on top. Now we're gonna put the lid on, wait for the cheese to melt, and then it's ready to serve. So our shredded cheese is all melted. We're gonna go ahead and incorporate that and mix it all together, and then we're gonna serve it up. I'm excited to try this. We have been letting this sit for a couple hours now. You can make this. That's one really nice thing about crock pots is that you can kind of make it all and then let it set all day and it'll just keep it warm as long as you don't keep it on high for too long because then it'll boil and burn. So put it on low or warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop this. Look how good this looks. Into my bowl. Oh. Smells so good. You can smell the spice from the hot sauce and the buffalo sauce. And then I have some green onions that I chopped up and I'm gonna garnish on top with the green onions. Just to get that nice flavor profile. Now let's give it a try. I have some pita chips here. You can also use celery sticks, carrots if you'd like, or regular tortilla chips, but I'm gonna use pita chips. So let's see how this tastes. That is really good. You get the nice heat from the hot sauce, the flavors of the ranch and the seasoning we put on there. Oh, that is so good. I'm excited to serve this at my next party. Ooh, get a nice big scoop there.
Oh man, that's great.
Isn't that good? It's the heat from the hot sauce, buffalo sauce.
Actually,
so
it has
good.
a little bit of a kick to it, like from that original sauce.
Yeah.
And that jalapeno seasoning. That's awesome.
Yeah, and if you really like spicy, you could definitely add like fresh jalapenos, jalapeno juice. You could add more heat to kick it up, but I think this is the perfect flavor for us.
Yeah, it's not too spicy at all.
Nope.
It's perfect.
Yeah. For our second appetizer, we are gonna make chili cheese dip. And guys, this only has 3 ingredients. Super easy and super quick. Our first ingredient is Velveeta cheese. And then we have Rotel and Hormel chili, no beans. You can have the beans if you want, but I prefer without the beans. All right, so we need 16 ounces of our Velveeta cheese. And one really nice thing about this is that it has ounce markers on here. So it's broken up by 4 ounces, 4 ounces, 4 ounces. So you can easily cut where you need to for your cheese. Okay, now we have our 16 ounces of Velveeta cheese and we're gonna put it in the crock pot. Oh, try and do this without spilling any. And one reason I like making this cheese dip in the crock pot is because then you can kind of make it and just let it sit all day. So if you wanna make it in the morning before people come over, you have company, or before you're planning to eat it, you can put it in there, throw it on high for a few hours, stir it up a lot, and then just let it sit on warm for the rest of the day and it's good. So that's why I love using the crock pot for this kind of thing. Okay, so next I'm going to open all of my cans, which I guess it's only 2, so not that many. I like Rotel, this is the original, but they have multiple different spice levels. So there's like a mild, the original, and then there's a hot. So pick whichever spice your family and friends like. And then you could also definitely make your own chili, but if you're going for super fast, something you can whip up with like no need for preparation, buying this canned chili works just great too. I'm gonna get my spatula out to help me get these out of the cans, and I'm gonna go with our chili no beans first into the crock pot. Just make sure that kind of helps, so then if you do the Rotel first, there's gonna be lots of juices in there and it could splatter everywhere. So chili first, get all that out. And then onto our Rotel and just pour that on in there. That one thankfully comes out a lot easier than the chili does. And we'll just give it a good stir, and then I'm probably gonna set it on high for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I'll stir 1 or 2 times in between. And while this sits, we can get started on the next recipe. For our third recipe, we are going to be making pigs in a blanket. And this is a little bit different than what some people might think of pigs in a blanket because it has hot dogs and pepper jack cheese. So it's like the adult level pigs in a blanket.
It's like the college adult.
Yeah, broke college kid pigs in a blanket. The ingredients we're gonna be making for this is also only 3 ingredients, so win-win there. We've got crescent rolls first, then we've got our pepper jack cheese, and then we have our hot dogs. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by slicing my cheese. I like buying the block cheese because I think it just tastes better than the pre-cut cheese. And I'm gonna do 8 slices since we have 8 croissant rolls. The tool I'm using is a wire cheese cutter. It works really well to cut through cheese. They also have bigger ones, but this you can find at Walmart, Target, Amazon. They're really nice to cut your block cheese with. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Losing track of count here. Okay, I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that I've got all my cheese cut up, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat the oven and then grab a sheet pan to put these on. So we're gonna preheat the oven to 375. Get that started, and I'm gonna grab a pan. So I've got my pan. I'm gonna move this cutting board out of the way. Actually, I'm just gonna set this pan to the side over here. And then next, we gotta cut our hot dogs. So I'm gonna do about this size is all you need. So cut it in thirds. And I'm gonna cut probably only 3 of them since the croissant rolls make 8. So we got 6, and then we'll have 9, but that's okay. We can have an extra. So we've got our hot dogs, our cheese, and now we gotta get our croissant rolls out. Actually, I think I'm gonna put my hot dogs on my plate so that I can work with my croissant rolls. Okay, so I've got my croissant rolls. I love Pillsbury, super easy, and they taste delicious. So we're gonna go with these. You can also use name brand store around you as well. So we just peel that off. And then if you've never opened one of these before, they can be kind of tricky, but you gotta either press down or let's try this trick. There we go. It takes a while, but eventually it'll come open. It might jump scare you, but it'll get there. It won't hurt you. And we are gonna roll these out, and they have these perforated edges on here that makes it really easy to get them apart and be able to see kind of what you're working with. All right, so I'm just gonna lay these out so then I can easily build my pigs in a blanket. We've got 8 of them. So you can definitely double this, triple this, depending on, you know, how many people are gonna be at your Super Bowl party, or if you're going to a friend's house, you can, you know, double it, make 16. Super easy and doesn't take much time. So I got all my dough out, and now I'm gonna put them together. So just take a hot dog, piece of cheese, put it down in here, and you roll. You just roll it up like that. And then we'll line them on the baking tray and just keep going. I love cheese. I grew up in a family where a recipe would say, oh, you need 1 cup of cheese. We'd put 2.5 cups of cheese. Like, it was our just automatic throw in the entire bag of cheese. It's so good. You can't go wrong with cheese. All right, I'm just gonna line all these on my baking sheet. And then once our oven is preheated, we'll throw these in for about 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, one more. All right. And the oven is preheated, so now they're ready to go in the oven. All right, set it down here. So we'll set the timer for, we'll go 13 minutes, and we'll just check in to make sure that the croissant rolls get lightly browned, so like a golden brown color. So you could do 12 to 15, but I always go on the side of the lower number so that I can check on it, and then if it needs more time, we can put an extra minute or two on the clock. While we wait for those to get out of the oven, I'm gonna check our crock pot and check on the chili dip. So give it a nice stir. It is getting hot and starting to melt, but it is gonna need probably another 20 to 30 minutes. So the Velveeta tends to take a little longer to melt. And we'll check that back. All right, so I did check these a minute early and they're done. So we're gonna go ahead and get them out of the oven. They are nice and golden brown. All the cheese is melted. These look amazing. I'm gonna shut my oven and bring these over to you. So look how melty goodness that cheese looks and how nice and golden brown these are. This is perfect. Perfect. So I'm gonna let these kind of cool just a little bit because they're gonna be really hot to touch. But then we will scoop them off, put them on a cooling rack or a plate, and then we'll give them a try. All right, so I got my plate and let's dish up this and give it a try. So just these two. And then I need a knife, cut these in half. Okay, so we're gonna cut this in half and give it a try. We've got that flakiness of the croissant roll, the melted cheese, the hot dog. Oh, it just looks so good. And then it smells really good too. It smells all buttery from the croissant rolls. So, okay, let's give this a try. That cheese is melted perfectly. You get the hot dog in there. Oh my gosh, this is good. I honestly have not had this before. It was just my husband's suggestion of what we should make. And these are really good. Like, yeah, 100%. Y'all should make these and try them. They're so good.
Okay, give me one.
Yeah, you gotta try one.
I haven't had one since college. I'm so excited. Oh man, look at that. Oh God.
I could eat a whole platter of these. Like, these are so good.
This ain't gonna get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're just gonna eat all these and I'll have to make like 2 more batches.
Oh man.
So good.
So good. Not good for you at all, but they are delicious. And we're not here for your diet.
No.
We're here so you can eat good food.
The Super Bowl is also not about a diet. You gotta eat all the good appetizers at the Super Bowl. So, wow, that was amazing. I'm like speechless.
Oh God, okay. Close this out.
Okay.
Of this section, we still got the...
Yeah, we gotta finish up the cheese, but we'll get to that. So all these recipes, the ones for the cheese dip, the buffalo chicken dip, and the pigs in a blanket are all linked in the description below. They can be found on my website. Lots of information linked below, so check that out. And these are so good. But now we gotta check on our cheese dip, so that's the last thing. It is nice and melted. It's been about 30 to 45 minutes. We're gonna stir that up. And then I'm gonna go ahead and try this with you guys. Get my ladle. Just gonna pour some in a bowl. Okay. Got my chip. Let's try it. You honestly can't go wrong with Velveeta cheese dip. The heat from the rotel really kicks in, and so you really get that aftertaste. I mean, if you really like extra hot, spicy stuff, you could definitely throw in some fresh jalapenos, jalapeno juice, or even canned jalapenos. So you could add that to kick up the heat, but I think it tastes perfect. And I'm gonna try dipping one of these little pigs in a blanket in here. Y'all can judge me if you want, but I'm gonna try it. Cheese on cheese on cheese. That's good.
I can't say that.
You wanna try?
Give me some.
There you go.
Oh God.
You got a big dip there.
Do it like mom's not watching.
So good. And I'm gonna dip again because this is my bowl and I can double dip if I want.
Oh my God, it's like a chili dog. It's like a chili cheese dog, but better.
We just like discovered the new thing. So good. It's crazy. All right, well, that's all our recipes. We've got the buffalo chicken dip, chili cheese dip, and our amazing pigs in a blanket. So make sure to check out all the links below to these recipes so you can make them yourself for your next Super Bowl party, or if you're hosting just a party for friends. Doesn't have to be the Super Bowl. Check them out, make them, let me know what you think, comment below, like, subscribe, and come back for more. Thanks.
Go cheese.